parts. Main reason why is because these are mainly intended for my class, which I am a teacher's assistant at SBCC, Santa Barbara City College. My teacher will be going over the basics, so if you don't know the basics of this, I really think you need to go online and watch some of the videos that they have on interface and stuff like that. Really, what I wanted to do was dive into the things that I've seen Ty's student, my teacher, the stuff that I've seen his students struggle with. Most importantly today, what we're going to go over is the Bool. And if you have any experience with softwares, you may have experience with Bools, especially if you've done interactive. But I'll tell you that Bools are one of the more complex subjects, and really what I'm going to go over is going to just skim the surface of what they do. But hopefully it'll give you a better understanding. Also, I want to let you know that I'm dealing with parallels right now. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to get over to Windows completely, but right now I'm on Mac. And although I have a pretty powerful Mac, parallels coupled with screen capture just seems to slow it down. So don't be shocked if I get very, very angry at my parallels. I might shout. So we have a couple of things in here, and basically what I want to show you is this is where I'm at right now, and this is just something I built today for the tutorial. What I have is I have a light. I actually have two lights, one on each side of the wall. I have a wall, a floor, a door, a keystone, which if you look in your content browser, it's keystone. And then also I have, more importantly, a key. It's actually marked under there as pin, but we use it as a key just because it seems to work really well and people seem to associate it as a key. So I'm going to move that over, by the way. It's right there, right there, right there. Okay. So first thing I need to do is I put everything in here as a static mesh, and this is something that I see a lot of people making mistakes on. What you need to do is not make static meshes. Static meshes are great. They're great to look at, but the big thing is that they're not actors. You need an actor. So I'm going to look for that pin, P-I-N, and there it is. So now that I have that selected, what I can do is I can go to here, and I can right click on my pin and hit replace with interp actor. Interp actor means that you can actually interpret it or do something with it besides it just standing there and looking pretty. So now you can see it changed colors. It changed from that weird puke kind of green teal to a pink. So that means that it's a static mesh. Now what we also need to do is hold Alt and move it over. And we're going to move a second one over. We're going to place it right there. We're also going to move it up. There. And then last but not least, we're going to move it over so that it's on the center. Now what I'm doing is I'm basically setting up so that this keystone is where you'll place the key to be able to open up the door. Ooh, I know, exciting. So first thing I need to do is I need to make sure that this is hidden, because as my students and as you will find out soon, you find that everything in UDK is a lie. What we're doing is we're lying to you when we make video games, and although I don't have any experience in the actual video game industry yet, I can tell you first-handedly, if you haven't realized it yet, video games are just simply a lie. Everything is constrained to what the softwares can do, and so they just work with what they have. What I have here is I'm going to hide this key, and basically when you pick up this key, it's going to destroy this, and then when you drop the key here, it's going to unhide this key. So what I need to do is hit F4 and open this up, and then go under display. We got hidden. Boop. And there we go. Cool. And next what we need to do is do the same thing that we did with the key. We need to make this door into an interrupt actor. So go back into our content browser and type in door. And select the blast door. And then we're going to right click on this. And we're going to hit replace with, sorry, parallels is lagging again, interp actor. Sweet. So now you can tell it's an interp actor. Now, because we have that selected, let's get the matinee done for the door. You probably should know how to do a matinee, but if you don't, I'm going to go over it really quick so you can watch. to open up our Kismet. I love Kismet. We're gonna first need new Matinee. Now, Matinee is gonna animate anything that's an interactor. So what I can do is I can double click on Matinee, and brings me up with this. This is your actual timeline of the actual animation. So I need to scroll out. Oops, scroll out. There we go. What I do is set up my door to about 2 seconds. Also, I'm going to move the green over to 2 seconds as well. And last but not least, I'm going to hit enter right there. Oh, darn it. Duh. Need to add a track. New empty group. Door. And then we need to add a track. Now I'm going to use a movement track. There are multiple different ways. You can also use a mover, which will set all this up for you. But I'm just going to use a movement track for now. And I'm going to hit. Now you can see it's already keyframed right here. This little red thing right there, as you can see, right above, right there, right there, right there. That is a keyframe. So if you know Maya, you know keyframes. Most likely. Most likely. All right. So I'm going to scoot this over so I can see. Now what I need to do is I need to rotate the door so that when you open it, it actually opens. So what I'm going to do is go to my rotate. Also, I'm going to go over to my end product, which will be right over here. And this is a 2-second clip, so what I'm going to do is in that 2 seconds, this is going to go and open up for you. Make it to a 70-ish angle. Perfect. 73. Ta-da! And then hit enter. Ta-da! Okay, so now if you want to check and see how it looks, you just go back and forth. You can see my lag. Lag. Alright. So, now that we have our movement set up, let's exit out of this because we don't need to. Okay. Next thing we're going to need, which this is kind of important, we need a trigger. We actually need 2 triggers. So, let's place those triggers. Let's minimize our Kismet, and then let's maximize our our perspective view. Although orthographic's good for some things, it's not good for this kind of stuff. We're going to place a trigger here. Right click, add actor, add trigger. Ta-da! And then we're going to scale that a little bit to make it a little bit better. And then we're going to just move it down a little bit too. Right about up. Perfect. Okay. Hold Alt. These are shortcuts. Keep these in mind. They're much easier. And we're going to put this one right here. And then I'm going to move it over. So it's encompassing the second key. Remember, that key's hidden. This key's not. So, select this first one. Now, you'll see that I am obsessive about certain things in Kismet, but that's just because I love node-based stuff, and I really want to make sure that it's as organized as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click, new event using trigger 1. And what I'm going to do is touch. And then first thing I'm going to do before anything else, is I'm going to move down here, object comment, pick up key. I will name everything because really this goes a million miles in making things more easier to navigate. There we go. So what I also am going to do is I'm going to check everything, make sure that everything's correct, and it looks like everything is. And then I also need to do the same thing for this trigger over here. No, give me the trigger. There we go. I'm actually going to move that out a little bit while I'm at it. Just move that out. There we go. Cool. So, let's put this trigger in here. New event. Touch. Actually, you know what? I just realized I made a mistake. I'm not going to use touched. Darn it. I'm going to use used. So remember, this is trigger 0 still. So I'm going to used. And then I'm going to make sure that I name it. This is place key. I hope I'm not confusing you, but this is this trigger right here where you're going to place the key. And this is trigger 0 where I'm going to pick up the key. Now the reason I'm using used instead of touched is because touched, it would be simply you walk over, and as soon as you walk over, boop, the key would be gone. Then you walk over to the thing, boom, it would be open. I mean, really, what's the fun in that? I mean, for this purpose, either could work, but I'm going to do this because this is actually the way you would probably do it. So let's name this one pickup key. And so we have our name. Sweet. So for next, I'm gonna move these down if I can. There we go. And I'm gonna have to move that over too because I'm gonna need lots of space. Now, next thing we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to grab the key. So I'm going to set up the beginning of this first. So the beginning would be not that. Come on, over. Parallels. Oh, parallels. The bane of my existence. There she is. Okay. So let's click out of there so I can't see it. Come on, go away. Grab the door. How's that? Okay. You like that? Key. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to make an object variable using interpactor 1. Interpactor 1 is my key. Now, next, what I'm going to do, make an object variable using my other key. Now I'm going to name this one different. I'm going to name it interpactor 0 key drop. Okay. I'm going to move this one down. Hope you see where I'm going with this, but if you don't worry. Next, what I need to do is set up my destroy. What I'm going to do is just go boop. I'm going to go new action, and I'm going to cruise down this until I find destroy. I think it's under misc. No, it's under actor, sorry. Destroy. So when we use this, it's going to destroy that. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to set in my toggle. New action, toggle, and toggle hidden. Now, what we're going to do is go used, unhide, target, right there, and play. Now, we have a basic key door. If you just wanted a door where you had to pick up a key and place it in, and you didn't care on whether they needed to actually pick up the key, then cool, you got it done. Watch. We're going to build. Always build. Always build. 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 Okay, cool. Now I'll show you the problem with what I got here. So play from here. Okay. There's my key. And if I pick it up, boom, it's gone. And if I walk over here and place it, boom, it's there and the door opens. Sweet, it is done. That looked cool. But let's show you where the problem lies. Hit play again. Watch it lag. Oh yeah. Can't do that. Hit play from here. The reason it came over the error is because I didn't set a player start. Alright. Now, watch this. Key's right there. I'm a magician. A magician. Oh! That is a problem. So, basically it's an unlocked door. And more importantly, I'll show you something else. Watch this. Okay. So, there's a couple things I need to fix here. First thing, I need to go in here and turn my door into an actual door. Not much of a door if you're not going to stop people. So collision, there's no collision, we're going to put to block all. Next, what we need to do is set up a bool system. The reason we're going to do a bool system is to tell it, when you click right here to try and activate this, it's going to ask the Kismet, do you have this key? Kismet is going to either give it a yes or a no. So let's go do that right now. First thing I need to do is break this connection. Hold Alt. Oh, Alt. Alt. And Alt. Break that. Okay. So next thing we need to do is go into new event. I'm getting confused on myself. New variable. And a bool. Now this bool is simple. What it is it is a 0 or 1. Hit 1, changes to true. Hit 0, changes to false. Hit 1, changes to true. Hit 0, changes to false. We're going to leave it as true right there. So, right down here, we're going to scoot this over. By the way, what I would also recommend doing is I would go touch type, sequence events, and turn off aim to interact. The reason why is because it means you have to be pointing directly at the trigger, and that can be somewhat of a pain. It is useful when you're doing some things, but really right now it's not useful at all. Next thing we need to do is comparison bool. So we're going to get new condition, comparison, compare bool. Now, what we wanted to do is when you hit used, we want to fire into here. When you fire it into here, what it's going to ask is it's going to ask, do you have the key? If it's true, it's going to unhide this, and it's going to open the door. Okay? Oh, you know what I just realized though? That needs to be false. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach it to this bool. So the reason we want this false is because when you start the level, you do not have the key. So if you walk up to the door, it's going to ask, do you have the key? False. Do nothing. So what we need to do is do a change in bool here. So new action, new, and then we're going to go to set variable, bool. Sweet. Now what we need is another bool. So first thing we're going to do is going to say, pick up the key, which is this trigger right here. It's going to change the bool, and it's going to destroy that key. Next, what we need is we need another bool. We're going to go from target. Now what it's doing is we're going for the target bool. This is the bool that we need to change right here. And what we're also going to do is going to set in another bool. Bool. That's true. And the reason why, and I'll show you why, give me 1 second, is it's all logical. I mean, it's all logic based, and I'll just go through the steps really quick. You go to place the key and open the door. It asks, do you have the key? False, it's not going to do anything. But if you pick up the key and change the value to true, which that's going to take this true value, pop it in here, and then target it over here, it's going to change this to true. As soon as it changes this to true, then it's going to go through, unhide, and play the matinee. Ooh. So let's try it out, see how it works. Oh yeah, let's just put the player start in here, okay? So I don't run into this one again. So player start, and let's move that over. It'd be kind of funny to put it over here so you die every time, but I won't do that. And also I'll let you know that I'm going to put all these levels up so that you can mess with them if you want. And more importantly, I'm going to put up as an exercise for the class, I'm going to also put up versions that are unconnected so that you have to connect them yourself. Ha ha ha. So what I'm going to do here is I'm also going to build geometry, exit, build lighting, don't use light mask. The reason I don't use light mask, by the way, is because it's really not necessary in this step. when you're building entire levels for production, of course you're going to use light mask because it's really going to do a lot of good. Light mask has multiple different uses, but most importantly, it's something that takes a lot of time to configure. So you don't want to use it when you're in the beginning stages like this. So I'm going to hit OK, build lighting really quick, and then I also need to build paths now because I do have a player start now. So we're going to go here, build paths, and build those two. Cool. Now we can hit this button, which means play. And it's going to start me over where that player start is. Ta-da! Now, let's go over here and try this out first. Look at it. I cannot place the key, Captain. Ah, big surprise. It doesn't work. How awesome. So let's go grab that key. Do. Pick it up. Sweet. And place the key. If it works. Lag. Did I make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? I think I did. Let's see where my mistake was. Because obviously something's not working correctly here. I've got everything. It's kind of cool that you get to see me make a mistake because you can see how I have to solve these now. True, value target true. Everything should work. Something is wrong though. That's odd. You know what, by the way, just for my own peace of mind, just so I know that this isn't a problem, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a log in here. What the log is going to do is it's going to tell the player something. What we're going to do is we're going to get that's very odd. False. Okay. So I've been looking over, and I just don't see where my problem is. If it's true, if it's false, play log. Whoa. Come on, go down here. Key. The only thing else I could think of that you would want to do to really clean this up is you'd set up a new variable and then player. This isn't really necessary, but I mean, let's just do it just to make sure. What we're doing is basically telling it, hey, only the players can do this, I guess. Oh, man. Let's try that out. Let's just delete that. Basically what I did was I just told this that by checking this, it says its default value is either 0 or 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So what I did was told it that this default value is 1. So, by the way, I didn't name this. Wow. See, doing this video has me off my game. I didn't name a bunch of these, and usually I would have named every single one. I'm kind of disappointed in myself. Key, go bye-bye. And this one will be named ta-da. And last, right there. Let's see. Door. Cool. So that should be everything. You pick up the key, it tells the bool to change the value from false here to this value, which is true. By clicking this, it's 1. So 1 is true. This should be good. Let's try it again. One more time. I'm going to build all just because I'm obsessive like that. Build. Build. And build. Now this should work. Honestly, it should work. We'll see if it works, but it should work. Alright, pick up the key, walk over, put the key in there. There you go. Look at that. So pretty. Whee, whee, whee. So I'm not sure what the problem was I encountered. It could simply be that I wasn't using the trigger correctly, because I'll tell you, those kind of thrown in triggers like I just did that aren't really set right can sometimes be harder to get to work. Really what you want to do is play test it, and then play test it again and again and again to make sure that everything works, because you'll run into that kind of stuff all the time. So that sums up this video as of right now. Of course, soon I'm going to start doing more. Please feel free to send me suggestions of videos that you want me to do, because there are a lot of things that I love doing UDK. Next, I'm probably going to dive into the terrain editor. The reason why is just because I love the terrain editor. There are so many cool things that you can do with the UDK terrain editor. I don't even know everything that you can do with it, of course, but I love it, and that's the main reason why I use UDK. So, that wraps it up. So, thank you, and watch me die.